because they're taught this in school, and even some popular books say this, they want to say, oh, well, nobody killed you by accident. It's just that you guys caught all those diseases and didn't have immunity to those diseases. And, you know, there's so many massacres that people don't know about, that we know about, and there's so many massacres that we don't know about because the people all got killed off. And when you go in and you push people off their land, where do they live? What do they eat? I mean, people just starved to death to a huge extent. People got sick as they were starving. When you're starving and don't have a place to live, you get TB and all these other illnesses, don't you? You know, you're much more prone to those things. So there's this whole part of the fantasy is that somehow when there were massacres, that was an aberration. It was not like a regular thing that happened. And I submit that it was a completely normal thing that happened. And if you start looking, you know, it's interesting, some of it is covered up here, but we still know about massacres here. You probably heard of Amherst College or Amherst, Massachusetts. That's named, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you have a smart family, huh? And, you know, Lord Jeffrey Amherst actually, you know, he wrote down on paper about, let's take these blankets with the smallpox germs and give them to the Indians so they'll get sick and die off. Like, it was actually written down that he did that. Like, the genocide was always the intent because we were considered less than human and because they wanted our land and the resources on it. You know, and when you start to look, there's a lot of history. I find out things every day. Like, I've been reading a lot about the history of California and Oregon. I never learned any of that stuff anywhere in school. It's just like massacre after massacre after massacre. Most people don't know about that indigenous people were enslaved very heavily in California and New Mexico and up here. The people here in the 1600s were routinely they were enslaved up here, and they were also sent down to the West Indies as punishment as slaves down there, very often to Barbados. So there's all these things in history that a lot of non-Native people don't know about. So, you know, we talk about this stuff, and some people find it really upsetting, and they just deny it.